All right, Libra, welcome to your weekly horoscope for April 27th through May 3rd. My name is Athen. So we have the full moon this week in your first house. So very significant actually for you Libras this month. We had that new moon here in your 7th, which was about relationships a few weeks ago, about one-on-one connections, all types of relationships. And so now the culmination is with you, and this is just the natural sort of flow of this type of aspects. So as the week unfolds and as we get closer to Sunday, there's going to be this awareness, I think, about what it is that's important to you, which is, of course, relationships, but it's more personal, and I think with all this stuff transpiring or whatever it is you're involved with, your perspective on relationships, one relationship in particular, one-on-one connections, sales, clientele, one-on-one sort of interchanges, it's coming to a culmination now during this full moon, and the culmination is an awareness of what it is that who you are in many ways. I mean, the first house is your self-image. It's how you see yourself. So it's who you are, and then through that we see what our goals, our aspirations, our drives are, what we want. And so that's what's coming up to illumination here during the full moon for you Libras. So as the week unfolds, focus on that. Focus on self here. Especially a few days before, this is the time for that. See what your goals are, your aspirations are, because it is a highlight of that. And it can be a culmination point for a lot of the stuff that you guys have been working on for the past 6 months when we had the new moon on your guys' birthday 6 months ago in that first house. So culminating with that. It could also be culmination of relationship stuff over the past few weeks as well with the new moon. So a lot of this emphasis here on the 1st and 7th house, but still very much on the 7th for the whole week. And it starts, it's been this ongoing theme with the new moon in that 7th. So this week starts with a lot of aspects from Chiron and Neptune early in the week, Monday through Wednesday. We have Chiron sextiling up to Mars. Then we've got Chiron squaring up to Venus. And then Neptune squaring up to the Sun here in the 7th. So first of all, with this Venus energy, because it is your ruler, I want to say that there's, for the past few weeks, you guys have had the opportunity to really go deep, go within, tap into the transparent, deeper elements of life, and being truthful, raw, and transparent in your relationships and with yourself, and transforming. And you guys are fixing for a transformation when your ruler goes into the 9th house next week. But this week, it's still very much about the deeper elements, so connect to them, that vulnerability, that transparency with yourself. And so that is coming up to the square with Chiron. But the square from Chiron is always a healing opportunity. And so that healing opportunity is coming in through your 5th house there. So there's been this sort of flow and healing about your 5th house, about your self-expression, your passion. It's about finding your passion by going with the flow, expressing yourself in the present moment with that flow and peace and tranquility. And all of that has been very healing for you with Chiron in that 5th. So continue with that. Monday through Wednesday, you want to bring in those 5th house related things. And you'll find that very healing with Chiron. And actually very spiritual, you might say. Or just very tranquil, very peaceful with Neptune as well. Creativity, self-expression. All these things relating to the 5th house. Bring that into the relationship side of things. Bring that into the 8th house, deeper side of things, you see. So that's Monday through Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we've got Mercury changing signs. As you can see here, all the way up until Thursday, Mercury will be in your 7th still. So I think you'll naturally be thinking a lot about relationships, one-on-one connections, as you have been. But right around midweek, Mercury, go into that 8th, and then you'll notice that this is where I think you guys will be thinking more about the deeper elements. And really, Mercury in the 8th is very sharp when it comes to diving deep and really seeing like the truth of the matter. So it's probably relating to relationships. And this is why the 8th house after the 7th is going deeper with relationships, taking it to the next step. And again, it's all one-on-one connections. If it's even sales, something as mundane as that, it's really starting to open up with your clients or what have you. And then it's through that transparency that the relationships sort of flow. And so it's through that transparency you have with yourself, which is where it all comes from. So I think your mind's going to shift more into the 8th house matters here about midweek. Then we don't have any major aspects until Saturday and Sunday, when we have the challenge of the week, which is an opposition from that Mercury. Once that Mercury goes into the 8th, will be opposed by Saturn in your 2nd. So you guys have been hopefully taking the disciplined approach to the material enjoyments of life, such as finances and the material pleasures, taking that stuff seriously and grounded and long term. And so balancing, this sort of structure here with the deeper elements, with Mercury in the 8th, I think, because the 8th house is very non-material. It's about emotions. It's about connections. It's about truth. It's about all those things we enjoy about life beyond the material realm. So we don't want to go to any extremes here with the opposition. So on Saturday and Sunday, make sure you are taking that stern, disciplined approach to the financial side of things, while at the same time balancing that with looking at things very truthfully and raw and transparent. So there is this, there's this finesse about the 2nd and 8th house, where it's saying that there is an importance to the material elements of life, but there's also an importance of going beyond the material elements. So having both of those will be a good foundation for you during the weekend. It can also be like assisting you too. That Saturn can really assist you in a disciplined way of doing these deeper things, but in a grounded, long-term fashion, you see. And then, of course, on Sunday, we got that full moon. So again, that's going to be emphasizing your 1st house here. And that's where a lot of this awareness is going to be, from all of this, 7th house, relationship stuff, and balancing self with other. Just balance. This is the key here. Lots of balancing taking place this week, especially over the weekend. Balancing self with other, and then material with non-material. And finding that balance will be the flow for you guys. All right, Libra, we'll have a fantastic time. If you'd like more information on Sidereal Astrology, or you're new to this type of astrology, do check out the website down below. Also, if you'd like a personal reading, check the link also. And have a fantastic time. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you all next time. Take care.